What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. If you're looking for more show, other than the show that you're already watching, you can go to our Patreon. Patreon.com/Whiskey Ginger Podcast, baby. We got all sorts of cool stuff. That's where I do the solo Cheeto chats that we used to put up on this channel. Now they're going to be over there. Plus, I do Zooms with the top tier, and I'm going to start doing YouTube live Q&As with the top 2 tiers. Go check it all out at patreon.com/Whiskey Ginger Podcast. If you're looking for merch, AndrewSantino.com has the link to the store, AndrewSantinoStore.com. And also at AndrewSantino.com, oh boy, baby, we got dates. Addison, which is outside of Dallas, and also Salt Lake City, SLC, Utah. If you're in one of those 2 places, come out and see ya boy. Go to AndrewSantino.com for tickets. Enough rambling from me. Let's go to the episode.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You're that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again. Today, it's Kalila Koon, baby.
No one gets my last name right.
Koon.
How long have you known me?
Koon.
That's a racist slur, you know.
Koon. Koon. How do you say it?
It's
Koon?
Koon.
Koon. Yeah,
Koon.
I knew. But
There-
Koon looks cooler.
Is it?
Kalila Koon.
I'll change it to Koon permanently if that's what you want.
Do it for me. Do it just for me. Look at this. I've got the better half of the Bobby Lee household in our studio finally. The new star of... I was looking at your socks. Look at how cool your rainbow socks are.
You like them?
They're really dope.
They're actually kind of gross because they're Soul Cycle socks.
What do you mean you work out in them and then you put them in your regular shoes?
Well, no. It means I go to Soul Cycle, which makes me a disgusting bougie LA bitch.
Why? No, that's totally normal.
Just because I could go to, more grassroots community bike rides, but
why?
I go for the expensive one where they give you fancy shampoo.
Soul Cycle is where they yell at you, right?
No,
What's the one where they're like,
that's berries. I go to that too.
berries? You go to that one.
I go to that one.
No, but Soul Cycle is it's classes with really hot instructors who are really angry.
They're not angry.
They're intense.
You push hard.
We're
but
dominating this hill.
Yeah,
That- they
yeah,
say
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a Peloton?
No, you know why? I did it. You know what this is funny? I did it in a hotel. I was with Rogan somewhere, and he gets these nice fancy hotels, and downstairs they had like 4 of them. And I was working out, and I was like, maybe I'll just try. I've never tried it, so I just tried it 2 years ago, and I loved the workout, but I hated how it made my taint feel.
Well, the taint
It
feeling.
hurt so much on my
That's
gooch.
for any.
So what do you do? What do women do then? That
Well,
doesn't
no,
hurt?
you just kind of grow a callus there, and after your 5th ride, I swear to you, it's better.
You have a calloused taint?
I have a calloused fucking vagina.
So wait, it all gets like just banged up enough when it just
My
doesn't
shit
matter.
is like 3-day-old French bread. That's how hard it is.
You have a baguette? This is
A
just a baguette?
baguette.
It hurt me so much, and I'm not even. And also, then I said to the guy at the front desk, he was like, I had asked something about the gym hours, and I was like, yeah, and I tried that Peloton, and then he was like, oh, did you enjoy it? Because they put in the full. They have the screens where you can do the yoga too. It's
Yeah.
got like the whole. And he was like, yeah, did you enjoy it? We just put that in the hotel, and I was like, yeah, it was kind of cool. It hurt a lot. He's like, yeah, we don't have the upgraded seats, and I was like. This is like a 4 seasons. Why the fuck didn't you get the upgraded seats? You can't afford it?
On
What?
top of that, if they don't have the upgraded seats, you can bring something to class, like kind of like a little cushion.
Pad.
Yeah, a ball pad.
Do people look down on you? Or are they like, oh, look at she brought
Well,
her
it
taint
looks
protector?
like you do look like a beginner because advanced riders should not have that much feeling in that area anymore.
Right. So if you're an OG, you've got the baguette taint.
Yeah, I have.
But if you're a newbie, I've got a croissant taint. I'm soft.
soft and buttery.
It's soft and buttery down there. It really did hurt. I got so bruised and it got red. And I was like, the workout was incredible. So I did love that. But I don't know. I'm afraid to go do that in a class because I did a class thing once. Me and the old bag did Orange Theory.
Orange Theory, yeah, with a.
It was
row
cool with the
machine.
row machine, but the problem was people were cheating. Like up on the, you can see everybody's numbers.
Why are you looking at other people?
Because it's a competition.
I know, but it's
They
like
put that up there for a reason. They want you to try to beat people.
that's one of the reasons why I do Soul Cycle and not other cycling classes because of the competition. I cannot compete. If I compete, not only will I start to rage out halfway through because I know I'm working harder than people, but my numbers are just not like reflecting.
That's what I mean.
it.
But because they're cheating, I see what people are doing. Like I see when people bail on the like you have to do row for a certain amount of meters, right? If it's like I don't know 600 meters or whatever.
Yeah.
I know they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be stronger or more athletic than some people that doing it, and they get off earlier, and I'm like, that guy didn't fucking. I got on before him, and he got off before me. Impossible. So I know they're cheating, and then they go to the treadmill and they don't put it at the right speeds. I didn't like that people were.
So they were getting the splats and you weren't.
Yes, I
Is that
didn't
how-
like that. It bothered me. I wanted to get the rewards for doing the whole workout. And then also when I see people like, I just don't, that's maybe it's just classes. I don't like classes. If it's one-on-one, like just a personal trainer, cool. I can't do like 7 other random people in there. I don't,
This is gonna sound so corny, but
Do
I
it.
do
What?
like working out in the dark or in the red room with like really loud music and feeling like I'm at least stronger than at least 3 people in the room.
yeah, you want to be, that's exact, everyone in there,
And I like being yelled at.
you do.
I do. That's the
Is
kind
that why
of
you're with Bobby for this long?
um
No, he doesn't yell. He doesn't
he
yell at you ever.
doesn't. He's a love bug.
Yeah, you yell at him though, don't you?
I don't. I
You
speak
should-
to
you
him
should.
in a stern manner.
Like a mom.
I'm his mommy.
Bobby, why is that there?
Uh-huh.
I do the same thing. I'm his dad, but I'm his I'm a much more abusive father to him than you are you're a stern mother who has logic. Mine is just anger. So it just comes out as an abusive alcoholic father.
I always know when you're on a phone with him. I'm like, oh, he's talking to you.
Why?
Santino.
Because the
There's
aggressiveness.
always just an undertone of someone's about to snap. Either Santino is or you are, but I gotta get the fuck out of here.
That's why the currency works. It's we are yin and yang. Who's yin and who's yang? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let me say this, by the way. Bloodbath, congratulations.
Thank you.
The new pod with Lil Esther Pavitsk and Annie Lederman. I've always said Letterman.
It's Letterman.
No, I think it's Lederman.
Well, I think with that the correct way. Like my cousin lives in Germany. She's like, it's Liederman.
Lederman, which sounds Jewish, but she's not Jewish.
No, she's not, because I think one of her parents is adopted. I think her dad was.
Right, she's one of the fake Jays
She's got some great jokes about
about being Jewish.
our beloved Jewish community, though.
Yeah, and Esther is Jewish.
Yes.
Which, you know how I feel about that. What if I went on this crazy anti-Semitic? No, but they're great. I love both of them. I've known them for a long time as well. I think it's a great. I was just honestly, I don't want to spend all this time like chatting about your show because we have so many things to talk about. But it's great because you guys are you're nothing alike.
No.
All 3 of you are nothing alike.
We could not be any more different. Annie and I do have a sort of like some parallels in her life because she was just like me, just raped and abused.
She was abused. Yeah, she's got the abuse thing. Esther, on the other hand, polar opposite.
Polar opposite.
Coddled.
She's our little baby princess.
She is.
She's our baby princess, and it really is. It couldn't be a more imperfect match.
It is good. It's a good show. You guys are really good together. So I just want to give you some props on
Thank
that because
you.
I think it's really good and it's going to keep taking off. You guys are only on 3? No,
We're
3
on
eps.
our third
yeah,
episode
third. Yeah.
this week.
Oh, it's going to keep going. It's going to because the rhythm is good and also, boy oh boy, not to give PD any credit, but if he did help make everything look so, it looks it just looks nice. You know.
Thanks.
PD didn't help us at all, as you can tell. That's why. That's why our show.
Who chose the fish wallpaper? Because I'm on board with that.
Okay, first of all, let me tell you the fish wall. I just want to turn this off so this isn't the fish wallpaper. Here's what really happened. The reason that we did that on Bad Friends was because we were there was nothing on those walls, and like I told him just to paint it whatever color, and then he put
It
up
was
like
a light purple before that.
it was. And then he put
Yeah.
up like a different design. And then we were like, well, the fans were joking about it, making fun of how terrible it was, and it was. I didn't care. I was like, I don't know what to do, and they hated it so much. I thought, well, how can I like troll them back and make it look as childish as like the commentary? Like it's just me and that idiot being idiots. It's like it looks like a 12-year-old's room. So in my head, I was like, how can I make it look like a kid's place?
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was like fish wallpaper. That looks like it would be in that. To me, it was like a 10-year-old would want that in his bathroom.
I wish Bobby would flex more with his real talents because he has such a talent for interior design.
He doesn't want to.
And I know, what a missed opportunity.
I tell him, I said, let's make something beautiful together. Like, tell me what's gonna, like how you want it to feel and look. Doesn't care.
He has such great weird taste.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
But he could have made it like a next level playroom if.
I told him.
But
if we get the new studio, I'm gonna force him to fill it out.
Do you know like what a great musician he is too?
Trust me, Laxton Supreme. What is
Superb.
it? Superb. One of my favorite bands of all time.
Do you know that they're reuniting?
He told me that, but to what? Just to do one show?
I mean, maybe. Imagine it just sells out the Will Turn.
Right, that'd be how funny. They're at the Staples Center in June. We're like, wait, what happened? It's Laxton Superb. Adam Levine's opening up for them. A bunch of LA locals. No, I know he is very talented. Honestly, when he made that "Daddy Why You Die" song that we did on the show, even that like little somber, like super beta version of the beat that he made in his car while smoking, even that was good. Trust me, I know that stuff. He needs you to poke him to do it.
Oh, I poked him. He made our music for Bloodbath.
I know the music is good.
Yeah, because it's
it's
Mr.
him.
Bobby Lee. Yeah.
Oh, well.
He's like, what do you want? What do you want? And I'm like, give me 3 versions. He gave me 3 versions, and all of them were good.
And why did you pick that one?
Just the vibe we wanted.
Something
something
clicked?
psychedelic. Yeah. The girls liked it.
Well, how long do you think before you guys on Bloodbath will get into like an actual like a gripe?
What gripe about?
I don't know.
With
Like
each
how long
other?
before you guys actually start to butt heads a little bit?
Oh, what do you mean? We've butt heads from the beginning.
You know what I mean, though.
No, like
When
literally.
it becomes a thing where you're like, what? How long before one of you
Well,
hates
this
each
is why
other?
I'm here. You know, this is why I'm the 3rd person in Bloodbath.
Yeah.
I'm neutral Nancy. I am a referee
Yeah,
of
you
that
play.
friendship.
You play right on the line. But
yeah,
you,
because I know Esther and Annie,
Mm-hmm.
they are so contentious and they love each other so much, but they hate each other so much. But there aren't 2 people on this earth more suited for one another.
Yeah.
They're soulmates.
Yeah.
They just, sometimes soulmates can't get it right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there for it.
Yeah.
And I'm a little like kind of like the cushion they need.
You're the good bounce. Well, you're a good. You understand how to
But
be.
how long? But what about you and Bobby? Have you guys hit that mark yet? Of
Oh yeah.
But I think we need to hit it sooner than later, so
Yeah.
you just get over it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes a little bit easier.
Do you get your feelings hurt like legitimately? Do you cry about it when you guys fight?
No, but I get like it keeps me up.
Because he can dig deep sometimes.
It'll just keep me up at night. It'll
Yeah.
it'll be like writhing in my head when we get into stuff that I'm like. But that's the thing that no one knows about, I think, in our world and what we do is like, yeah, we're creating content for people and this is all in good fun but also like we invest so much into these things emotionally and mentally, and I think people really have no idea about that. Like you guys have been doing Belly for 5 or
Yeah, 6
6.
almost 6 years, yeah.
So like people kind of think it's like, yeah, you love it, it's your family, literally, and also metaphorically with PD and Gilbert, but it's like there's so much mental exercise that goes into that, balancing personalities and relationships and stuff. In the same way, somebody said to me about Dave, they were like, do you get along with everybody on the show? And I was like, yeah, as much as you can. Show me a time when you can get together with 75 people that you don't really know and spend every day with them and tell me you would get along with all of them. That's impossible. It's impossible.
But you just have to promise to yourself to be a professional. Show up, do your job.
Yeah, you
don't
just have to
jump
do
into
it.
your feelings. Don't lead with your feelings. Just do the fucking job. Get out of there. And
Right.
Honestly, I know that most people that work together eventually hit an impasse.
Yeah.
In a difficult stage. I will say that has not happened in the 6 years with Tiger Belly. I couldn't feel more blessed to have George and Gilbert. We do, if there is if there is some shit that goes down, it's usually Bobby and I.
Yeah.
And then we have to take a pause. I have to go upstairs, eat a banana, come back down, simmer down.
Go up, eat a banana.
I do. I need
Yeah, you
I
need
need
your
my
space.
banana breaks, and then I go up, and then I'm like, all right, we friends again. Should we, should we start up again tomorrow, or should we finish it now? But that's just
Do you feel like your love has either gotten stronger or it's stayed the same since you've done the show with him?
how deep are we going here?
Well, as deep as you want. We can also talk about something light like the Woody Allen doc.
God, very light, light reading.
Yeah, light reading.
It's funny. I was really thinking about this today, actually on my ride over here. And Bobby and I are in such a stable place.
Yeah.
We feel so sure about the other. But have you ever read Mating in Captivity?
No, I'm not. I can't. I'm not a.
You're not a reader?
I'm not smart.
You talk like you're a reader.
I read. Okay, how about this? I read a lot. I consume a lot of written content. But sitting down and just reading a book front to back is very hard for me because of my OCD. Like my
What
ADD,
about reading triggers your OCD?
my OCD and my ADD is like I just want to. I think I should be doing other things, and then in the middle of reading, I'll get in.
A new thought that interrupts the sentence.
Too many. I'll just here, and then it'll be a tree branch. This is how I just. The way I talk is the way I read. Where I'll just be here. I'll just see all these bright lights pop up, and then I continue to just go somewhere else. Honestly, it's so hard. My neighbor gave me a book called That Swim Two Birds, and I tried to read it, and it's also extremely difficult literature. Like, it's very, very deep.
Yeah, fuck all that.
See,
People are
it's
like,
hard.
"Oh, this is you got to read this book. It's so good." I'm like, "Look, if it doesn't capture me within the first 2 pages, I'm out. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm sure it won a Nobel Peace Prize,
Yeah.
and I give wonderful. It's just
Props.
not for me.
Right. Okay, so tell me the book that you're reading.
I'm not reading the book.
Okay.
I have read excerpts from the book, but I, sometimes for two people like Bobby and I who've just had such a weird upbringing
Yeah.
of like a lot of chaos, a lot of high
Trauma.
intensity, we like to operate, we think the up here is the excitement. The boredom is where the healing happens, right?
Yep.
But the excitement is our baseline. We're just used to the chaos of life and the kind of like, the instability, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is when two very unstable, chaotic, chaos-loving people come together,
Yeah.
8 years down the road, we are now stable and we feel sure and we feel like our 2 feet are on the ground
Right.
and the love has been proven. Sometimes the eroticism goes away.
Sure.
Like we're used to, when we first met, we couldn't get our hands off each other because it was like, oh, that person is like dynamite in a human body. Like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want to play with, right?
Right.
And then him and I just have gotten so healthy over the last 8 years. We're both in therapy. We've worked out our demons. And now I look at him, we look at each other and we're like that desire. We don't want to like rip each other's clothes off anymore. So we're
Yeah.
kind of at that impasse where we're like, why does feeling healthy, like we're the healthiest we've ever been, but we're the least horny we've ever been.
Dude, that's so interesting you say that. I thought about this the other day about how a friend of mine was describing his ex, and he was like, we fought constantly, but the sex was the best I've ever had in my entire life. And I was thinking about it like, yeah, like if you're fighting a lot and you're having makeup sex or just there's a lot of passion, that tends to lead itself towards, the other side of it, intense moments of love. So it's this roller coaster, but when you're at this place of like kind of, or whatever, of like happiness with each other, you're right though. That's tough to like reinvigorate that.
Yeah, but I know that there's a way there.
Sure.
And I know that there's a way to have to like kind of spark up that like that energy that you need to
Yeah.
feel like sexual towards
Yeah.
someone. But because I'm broken and he's broken,
Yeah.
we don't have those like those tools that regular adults have.
Right.
So we're trying to sort of like find that balance of like, being actualized adults, but still being actualized horny adults. Because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, since I've been in therapy, my libido couldn't be lower.
What there's like, and when you say like not horny anymore, are you like, is it like it doesn't even cross your mind during the day, or when there is a sexual moment. It's just you're not as ready to get the engine going.
Yeah. Sometimes even if I feel like a little bit of a spark, I'm like, I don't have the energy. Don't want to go there. I'd rather sit here and fucking pick my boogers, to be honest.
You just
know what
check
I mean?
out. Do you say that to him? Are you like, hey man, this isn't?
Oh no,
coming
I don't
on
say
to-"
that to him. We just like, I don't know. It's so funny because sometimes we're like, should we just try? Should we just,
Give it a
take
go?
take our clothes off and like hold each other? Find it that way. So I'm not saying we're in a sexless like relationship, but you know what I mean. It's just different.
Yeah, it's different.
And I think I hate when couples have been together so long and you don't hear everything just seems so peachy and I'm like, wait, do they go through this or is it just him and I?
Of course they do. This is so common that it's unreal. I mean, it's like, but no one wants to talk about it because like when you're young, all you're doing is having sex all the time. And it's like, it's so easy to get engaged with somebody in a relationship, whether you're like in and out dating. And then as you get older as a person and in the relationships, it's just people don't talk about how like your life changes so much.
Yeah.
Right?
My fear is also the alternative, by the way,
What?
which is to be with someone who just wants to release every day and treat me like a receptacle.
Yeah,
and then
that's
now I
bad.
have to kind of just like sit there and take it.
Yeah.
Because I have been in a relationship like that where like he'll rip the pillowcase if like sex is not on the table every night.
Really?
Yeah, you don't
That's crazy.
every girl I've been with has been with at least 2 guys like that.
That are just like, if I'm not getting it, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, like they are just, they have to empty their ball sack every night.
Why can't you just be like, go jerk off?
I know.
I would have just been like, go jerk off. I'm not in your mood. I'm not in the mood. I might be tomorrow, but go jerk off now. I don't want it right now.
Yeah, because I feel like the more anyone wants it, the less I'll want it. Just please get away from me.
The more they want you, the less you want them.
Maybe. Or just in that relationship that I was in. I was
Yeah.
like, please, like, just get away from me.
This sounds abusive.
Maybe it was, but I was really young, so I'm sure every single relationship
It was abusive.
was, of course.
I know at some degree that was like when somebody said that they got out of something for, somebody famous for, the ex said it was emotionally abusive. I was like, every relationship is emotionally abusive. Not physically,
Yeah.
but every relationship is emotionally abusive.
didn't know
Every
what the fuck-
past relationship
yeah.
specifically. That's why
Who
you're
the
not
fuck
in
knows what they're doing? Like,
Right.
when your feelings take over you and you're a young 21-year-old, like, you're a fucking mess. You don't know what to do with that.
it. And you say the meanest shit.
In here, we pour whiskey.
You know what time it is, Whisk Ginge fans. Time to get a new watch. A lot of times people are like, I don't want to buy a watch, it's too expensive. Yeah, you don't got to get a Rolly or an Audemars Piguet. Don't have to get a Hublot walking around town. You can also get yourself a nice high-quality watch without that super high-end price. A well-balanced, fair price from Vincero Watches. I don't know if that's how you say it, if they say it that way, but I like to say Vincero. Vincero Watches. Vincero Watches. They're awesome. So many cool styles to choose from. I chose the brown leather band with the green face, the green face. I think it's a cool little, they're understated. They're simple, but they're also very elegant, sexy, classy, cool. They're really nice watches, man. If you've never seen them, you should very much check them out. They got bracelets, wallets, sunglasses, all sorts of stuff for men and for women. Doesn't matter your gender, okay? Just go to Vincero and check out what they've got. They're offering 5-year warranty and 1-year return policy. Stress-free shopping, fair, honest prices. This is great stuff over there. I really do recommend it. You should check it out. Don't overpay for a watch that looks cheap and disappointing, dude. Go to vincerowatches.com/whiskeyginger. That's vincerowatches.com/whiskeyginger. Get access to the sale that's going on right now. Go to our link, and the discount will be auto-applied at checkout. This is a buy you won't regret. It'll look good on your wrist. That's vincerowatches.com/whiskeyginger. Fellas, you out there looking to smell better? You should. Everyone's sick of you stanking up the place, okay? Just because you've been sitting at home during the pandy, during the Ronas, not showering as much as you should be, doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking care of yourself when you finally start leaving the house safely, dude. Get your pits stinking good. I know mine's be stankin' sometimes. And Duke Cannon has sent me some delicious smells. I got to tell you, they sent me this dry ice cooling antiperspirant. It's got menthol and eucalyptus. Smooth, sexy, clean. It's a great smell. I don't like overbearing smells coming out of somebody's pits. It's annoying. If your deodorant mixes poorly with your cologne or whatever you're putting on your body, grosses me out. I don't want to smell 9 things. Give me something small and simple, and that's what Duke Cannon is delivering. They got that dry ice cooling antiperspirant with menthol and eucalyptus, peppermint and musk is the other one. Woo, woo, woo. If you look at me to be a fancy guy. Both well priced at $12 a pop, which is pretty reasonable for long-lasting, good-smelling deodorizers, man. Enjoy this American-made product. That's what I like to hear, baby, in the U.S. of A. Get yourself smelling clean and fresh, and you feeling good, you looking good. If your internal thermostat feels like it's perpetually set to sauna, pick up a stick of Duke Cannon dry ice cooling antiperspirant. Feels refreshing as jumping into a naked fridge. A naked fridge? A naked frigid lake, Andrew. I can't read. Without the risk of frostbite to your undercarriage. Ayo. Go to DukeCannon.com and use promo code WHISKEY for 10% off your next order. Plus, get free shipping with orders over $20. Curated collection of Duke Cannon products are also available at select Target stores. Go over to DukeCannon.com, promo code WHISKEY for 10% off. You're going to smell good.
Ginger. I like gingers.
If Bobby left you for a guy,
Oh my God.
how would you feel?
If he leaves me for a fucking hippopotamus, man, woman, fucking, it doesn't matter. If he leaves
Right.
me, I would be shattered.
Shattered.
Shattered beyond repair.
But if it was a guy, would it surprise you, or would you be like, I guess that's where he's going now?
I couldn't give 2 shits. I mean, the fact that he sucked as many dicks as he has
Yeah.
never turned me off. If
Yeah.
anything, it kind of makes him like,
Fun?
I don't know. I just like that he's so weird.
Yeah, he's so
Because I don't
weird.
even think that I don't think that he's necessarily attracted to men, but he's willing to try it all.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
You do.
It's so fucking weird and like kinky.
It's the weirdest. It is so weird, but also, I guess it just is proof that like some people are just born with the freedom of sexual thought, and some people aren't. Like he just is. Obviously, it was
Well,
affected
he didn't have
by,
a lot of choice.
Well, yeah, some of it, right? But I mean, like some of it is also his freedom of. I think his carelessness and his like adventure probably gets him into all those things anyway. So maybe part of it is innate, and it just brings it out of him.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe it's deep in there somewhere. We talked about it on the show last week.
Oh, if he was bi or not?
Well, yeah, it started off as a joke because Rudy said, had made the joke, but I think she's keen. I think she feels something. And
she,
he just,
she feels that he
yeah,
likes-
she's keen, dude. She's got that, like, I mean, it's like, she's really, she's really intuitive. She's really, really smart with people.
she's low key.
Yeah.
She's low key probably a fucking genius.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's super intuitive.
She-
She's super in touch. She feels things a lot. You can tell she like really like understands it from an emotional level, which is super hard for when you're super young. Because when you're young, everything is a fucking nightmare, and everyone's an asshole, and no one makes sense, and adults are dicks, and they treat you like you're a idiot, and you don't know anything, and then it's like all those things coming at you. It's hard to be in touch at all.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to even feel. There's kids in my neighborhood who are probably around that age, like 16 to 18, and they smoke and skateboard in the street. And like, I one day was like coming home late from a shoot, and I was tired, and I was staring at one of them. He was kind of giving me like a fuck you eye, and I just kept driving. But I soaked him in for a couple of seconds, and I was like, I know what he's feeling. It's like all this angst for no reason. And you want to just tell him, get out and be like, hey, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take a ton of time. I know you hate Mark, your stepdad, you know what I mean? And your mom is a bitch. It's like, I get what they're feeling, but you want to be like, it's going to be okay. You don't need all this. The world gives so much pressure to them already with technology too. It just seems like that generation is more confused than we were.
But I always drive that point home with Jules.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that serious right
No,
now.
it's
all
bullshit.
of this, because she's like, oh, like I hear everyone in school talking about their AP classes and the Ivy League schools. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. And
None
I
of
told
it.
her, even when you get to college, I tell her right now, she's a straight A student.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't really give a shit. Get your degree, get into university, go to community college. I don't give a shit. All I care about is that all I'm paying money for
Yeah.
is that you walk out of there knowing something, that you're learning something, that you I don't even care if you take notes and you fail a test. If you walk out of there and you're like, hey, I learned this, 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 and this, and I'm really interested in it, I just kind of think that's bullshit busy work.
Yeah.
And like, okay.
It is
fine
bullshit
by
busy
me.
work.
It is. In college is bullshit busy
It's,
work.
but it's even college is pretentious bullshit busy work. They make you feel like it's more notable to learn this stuff because you're now getting taught by someone who's a doctor of this stuff. But I never really bought on that. I didn't like, no offense to people with their PhD, but like when you say doctor, I'm like, I need you to be a doctor.
yeah.
It's weird for me to be like, I'm a doctor of English. You're like, what the fuck? You can't save someone with English. Stop. No one's going to have a heart attack and be like, is there an English professor named? I don't like that idea. You can be like, they should just call it a genius of English or like an expert of English. But I never liked the pretentiousness of like in college, the way I was treated by some of those professors. Like I was they were so above me and they're blessing me with their brain. And then you meet some of these people when you get older and you're like, you're as dumb as me. What do you're not that
Yeah.
you just learned more about one thing.
And yeah, you regurgitate the same thing to 400 students every semester. So
Yeah.
it's like ingrained in your brain.
Yeah, you're just repeating bullshit that you've already heard before.
I do love teachers though.
I like youthful teachers. See, for my money, give me the youth teaching the youth. Like the highest paid people shouldn't be professors. They should be kindergarten, elementary, first through, like the K through 5s.
Yeah.
Because they're molding kids and they're really having to like what they're really doing is they're like high-end babysitters. You're like having to teach and watch and care for kids. By the time they hit junior high, you just have to see if any of them are going to be total fuck-ups or not.
Yeah.
But like I think the teachers that get paid the most should be on the youngest scale, which is the irony. They get paid the least. And then college professors are making, 150 a clip. And you're like, what? He has his aide do all of his fucking work. Meanwhile, the first grade teacher has like shit on her pants from a little kid, breaking some, one's having a fucking panic attack. It's like, how do you manage all those kids? It's not like you're divulging a ton of information to them, but like, that's the most impressionable years when you're that young. Like I remember do you remember I remember some of my young teachers, like my young years of K through 5s. I couldn't tell you some of my junior high teachers or high school teachers. I remember almost none of them.
Name your 1st to 5th grade.
Okay. Mrs. Rhodes, this is crazy. Rhodes, Rhodes, and then Mrs. Rose, Rose. Spoken about both of them. One of them is gone. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Who actually said to my mom, Mrs. Rose said to my mom, she was for parent teacher conferences. She was like, is your son on medication? And my mom was like, no. And she goes, he could use it. Because I was such a distraction. I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop in class. It's the reason that Bobby was the same way.
Yeah.
It's like always doing whatever it is. I was like, I couldn't just like zone into a thing. I had to
You're a
just,
whirlwind.
yeah, it was just way more fun to just be
Fucking-
like talking to someone about anything else. Mr. Miller, who did the Iditarod race with dogs in Alaska. How cool is that?
What is that?
The Iditarod?
Yeah.
He would go to Alaska every year and race in the Iditarod with sled dogs. He would
With
take
sled dogs, like
Yeah.
Balto and Togo.
Exactly. My teacher did that.
That's so cool.
And he had a huge beard and long, cool hair. He was so cool, and he was just such a burly dude. But like all those people like left singed into my brain. But I'm dead serious. Junior high, I can't tell you a name. That's gross as that is. Do you remember your young teachers or no?
Yeah, my young teachers.
But none of the
First
older
grade,
ones.
Vilma Laranas. 2nd, Mrs. Macaraya. 3rd, Mrs. Duran. 5th grade, Mrs. Tan. 6th grade, Mrs. Klimico. I remember all of them. I'm Facebook friends with all of them.
You are? You're such a good kid.
I swear.
But you
I
were a
was
good kid.
I was a class president from 1st to 6th grade. I was also the top of my class. I was never not the top of my class.
Dork.
I was a big nerd.
You were the top of your class?
Always, yeah.
Wow.
I was supposed to be the prized kid out of the islands, and look where I ended up.
Life is good.
I mean,
Can you imagine though? They're like, whatever happened to her? They're like, she has a popular podcast called Bloodbath.
oh, all my friends from back home
And
look down on me. They're like, oh, look what she does, a YouTuber.
Really
How
though?
embarrassing.
Yeah, but can you imagine though, like the success level that you've had?
If you saw all of the kids that I grew up with, their success level is
What are they all Mensa members that work at fucking
basically
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
they're
all-
all either like
NASA engineers?
yeah, they have their world famous like furniture designers, they're doctors, they're anesthesiologists, they're all of them except for me.
Yeah, but
And I was
this is more
president,
fun.
class president.
But this is more fun.
This is more fun.
What would you do if this wasn't your life?
A doctor,
But okay, yeah, but
a
you
real
wor-
doctor.
But you worked in the medical field.
Yeah, I did, and it turns out I fucking hate it.
So see, it's like, but that's why my point is like,
Couldn't even put gloves on.
what would you do if that was out the window?
If I were to go back to school right now, I know they're not real doctors, but I would probably get my doctorate in something along the lines of like either like sex science or sleep science. Sleep science. I'm obsessed with dreams, REM cycle,
You are.
different stages of sleep. I'm obsessed with sleep science.
No, I don't mind you getting a doctorate in that. I just can't call you doctor. That's my point.
Right. I wouldn't require,
Oh,
imagine.
people do.
I know, but I'm
They get called. They would absolutely be like Dr. Willis. It's like no. What is he a doctor? No, I think that's good. Sleep science is great. I think that would be cool to do research on that all the time. You'd be contributing to society in that regard.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
study me. I have horrific dreams all the time.
What like do you have a night terrors?
No, they're just like some nights I'll have just like not nightmares. They're just intense and super confusing.
Do you always remember them?
A lot of times I do.
Do your feelings carry on throughout the whole day, or do you forget them?
Pretty rare. I mean, when I first wake up,
Mm-hmm.
they do, and sometimes they're intense, and I'll have to like shower or go outside and drink coffee to like escape.
Have you ever fallen in love with someone else in your dream and wake up feeling like reeling from that and thinking like, I'm gonna leave my whole life, pack my little whore bag, and go meet that person?
No, is that
That's
real?
how obsessed I am with dreams because my dreams are so vivid, and
Like
I
that?
lucid dream.
Like, have you left Bobby in your dream? For
I lucid dream. So yes, I've done everything. The reason that I've never cheated on Bobby,
Because you cheat in your dreams.
I do it all in my dreams. Everybody, everything at my choosing with no regrets.
Wait a minute, but is this a constant thing or is this come and go? Like,
Because I can lucid dream, meaning I can control in my dream, I can tell myself this is a dream. And so I don't go in feeling any type of way. So I can just kind of walk into any single door I want.
What?
I've kind of fallen off a little bit. I don't lucid dream as much lately, but I mean, I should.
How do you get there? How do you know to get there?
I've always been able to naturally do it since I was younger.
Right.
And so, but I know now that there are ways to get there because they're studying lucid dreaming as a way to treat PTSD, anxiety, and depression. So for people who get like night terrors or
Right.
who've been, who've had a lot of like trauma, when they get into like that dream state, you can control your nightmares. So the nightmare doesn't have to be a nightmare.
What?
Yeah, and it
But
can,
how? But how? It's techniques that you practice prior to going to bed?
yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know how to personally do it because I've just naturally been doing it my whole life.
It's a thing you just know.
Yeah. And then the best part about lucid dreaming is this. Let's say, for instance, I'm in a scary situation. I'm in an active nightmare. I could be like, Kalila, wake up. I wake up,
No.
go back into the same dream, hatch a plan, go back, sleep, wake up into the same dream, and then have a solution, have an exit.
This is like a movie.
It's a movie. My head is, I'm obsessed with lucid
By the way, here's
dreaming.
what's even more crazy about it. What if the dream is actually your real life?
I mean, what if? I think about that all the time.
This could be the dream.
I think about that all the time.
Like, you believe in simulation? I've talked about this a lot on the show.
Sometimes to a degree.
Like, I
To a degree.
think, okay, you see that's green, but like
Mm-hmm.
we know it's green because we've like agreed on that. But the
Yeah.
way it looks green to me isn't the way it looks green to you. And that's not just because of color cones in our eyes.
Right.
I believe that like we've constructed these things.
Oh, you
that-
know about cones and rods?
Yeah. I think there's only one
do
thing.
read.
I do read. I think there's only one thing that connects us to that, but it's something we don't have access to mentally, that why we both agree on that.
Hmm.
But that looks so different to you and I.
Well, you know that they study the electromagnetic spectrum
Yes.
in detail, right?
Yes, but that's why I
So-
believe in sim, because what's coming off of that, what's emanating from that, is so remarkably different for me than it is for
So
you.
what would you label color blindness then? Just glitchies?
I think that's a glitch. I think there's tons of glitches.
Okay.
I think tons of people have tons of small glitches. It's the reason that, when people think that people that talk to people in the afterlife, we call them crazy. We just like write them off as crazy. I think that just they have like a little glitch and they're able to access something that other people can't.
Look, I love my favorite human beings on earth are people that run real hot and that burn real bright.
Yeah.
And those are the people that we mislabel as crazy or
Yeah.
too much or, like they're cast aside and never like considered to be geniuses.
Normal. They're not normal. They're right.
Neurodiverse? Is
Yeah,
that
that's right.
Is that the
That's what we
the
like to
woke
say.
way to
We love
say
the
it?
word crazy. We're obsessed with crazy.
But you know what? Then I love my crazies.
Yeah.
It's the only and even if we're talking about people with like who are super like hardcore into Q, like QAnon and stuff, I try not to judge them too harshly only because it's like, I love natural skeptics.
Yeah.
I like people. There is a level where I'm like, okay, dude, like sometimes things just are the way they seem. Sometimes. Can we agree that sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like that level of imagination.
You do?
It's kind of fun sometimes to and not when it like alters and fucking fucks up people's lives.
Well,
but-
yeah, not when it's harmful to others.
No.
But to not question stuff is very strange to me. The idea that we were watching this documentary about ancient Egypt and I got like obsessed.
Wait, which one? The when they're digging up the tombs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You saw
yeah.
that? Did you guys watch it?
I mean, yeah, over a course of like 16 fucking dinners.
Oh, we consumed the shit out of it in one night. I was like obsessed.
my stepdad told me to watch that.
It's honest. I'm your stepdad, by the way. I was so obsessed because it's remarkable to think people bought into systems for so long back then, and we look at it as like, that's crazy. I can't believe they believed in that, But they're gonna say that about us in a 2,000 fucking years.
100%,
So when we say we know that there's no validity to certain things, how can you be so certain? I mean, they truly thought if when they buried those vertical tombs and they weren't facing Mecca, that they were going to be cast to hell for the rest of their life, and that was a fact. It was fact. It was just communal fact. It was like, you must be facing the right direction. You're gonna go to hell. And the fact that it was like not just a thing that they talked about, but they practiced, as simple as that is, you're like, yeah, we do shit all the time that we think is real, but it may mean nothing in thousands of years, and it may mean we just never figured it out, or we weren't smart enough. Because they were smart. So you see some of the shit that they did, you're like, well, I think it's just belief at some point. How the fuck did they learn any of that stuff? You know how smart they were? They had that what's it called? Scanty or something. It's like chess, and it was a perfect little chess piece. It was 2,000 plus years old, and it was exactly how like a mini little chess run would be, or cribbage today.
Cribbage.
Yeah, it was like cribbage, and the only difference was they used teeth and bones of probably their enemies. I don't know where they get them from. But I was like, look, that's how smart they were. They figured out those kind of things even back then, the same things that we do today. Something simple and small as like a little child's game. But it's just their belief system to us is archaic. But it's like, well, they're going to look back at us and be like, these people believed in that shit? How stupid are they?
Yeah.
So that's why I think anything goes. I totally think that this is all part of our own imagination. Like, this is a plan.
Oh, okay, but if we were to really fully
And you're a
subscribe-
lizard. I know you're one of the lizard people.
I am?
You are.
What makes me a lizard?
You vibrate. Your colors. I can see it.
My eyes go back and
Yeah.
forth?
I can see it.
No, they cross. I'm cross-eyed. That does not make me a fucking lizard.
That's why you're a lizard.
That's why Bobby and I can never have like long, serious like eye gazing sessions because we're both sort of cross-eyed.
So one just wanders in a little bit.
Well,
at some
I don't
point?
know we don't know which eyes to choose. We can never have that that movie romance stare at each other because we just can't stop laughing because we're both fucking cross-eyed.
See, but that makes me when we try to do that makes me laugh anyway because it's so weird and corny to like just stare at each other intently.
Well, isn't that what they say you have to do? You have to stare at someone for 4 minutes to
Yeah.
fall in love with them.
Get real. That's crazy.
Wait. Okay, so I went to one of my friends' like art exhibits.
Yeah.
And he had us do that like with strangers. Like he would pair us up with strangers, and I must have been on my period when I went because I started crying.
Just staring
Staring-
at a total stranger.
Yeah, she was like, there was something about this woman, and I started crying, and I was so embarrassed. I walked out of there like, oh my god, like I'm such a fucking pretentious little whore.
And she's like, am I too ugly for that girl?
And she started crying too. And then after
What-
that, we started hugging each other.
Do you think it was because you saw pain in her or something?
I think I don't know. I just felt really like vulnerable. Like I felt
Right.
like I'm looking into someone who doesn't know me at all, and I can't like run away from the situation. We've like committed to staring. I don't know what it was, but I got. I was really.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Wouldn't it be great if you had a little pocket-sized lump of meditation you carried with you always, everywhere you go? You do. You do. It's your phone. Headspace makes it easy, baby. Make it simple for you. It's your daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations and an easy-to-use app. Simple Pimple. You got it right here. This little telefono is the thing that's going to help you get to a better place mentally. It's one of the only meditation apps advancing in the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically validated research. Fact. I've used it. I love it. It's very, very cool. If you're into trying to connect with your mindset in the middle of the day, reset yourself, do yourself a favor, and get yourself on Headspace. You need help falling asleep, they can also help with that. They got wind down sessions, which I really like because I get amped up in anxiety at night. Sometimes I'm buzzing so much, I think I'm going to chew through the wall. Headspace's approach to mindfulness can reduce stress, improve sleep, boost focus, and increase your overall sense of well-being. I agree. I love to use it at night or at the end of the day in the evening when I'm looking just to calm down a little bit and stop the heart from pitter-pattering its way through my chest. You deserve to feel happier. Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/whiskey. I promise you will love this. It's so simple and so fun to use. You feel so much better, clear-headed afterwards. Headspace.com/whiskey for free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every single situation. It's the best deal offered right now. Go to headspace.com/whiskey today.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Did you feel any emotions with anybody else in the room or no? Was it just the one person you stared at?
It was just her, and then she gave me a ride home, and we like never talked again. It was.
Did you
weird.
talk in the car ride home?
We did. She told me all about her life in Orange County. She was just like a regular woman who like got drunk a lot with her friends. With her like, she was like in her 40s. She was a mom. She's divorced. I knew her whole life story by the time she
Dropped you off.
Yeah, dropped me off. But it was nice, and I just never called her again. We never thought, we were like, okay, we had that moment.
It's really cute, but it's also funny that you're like, also, I had no interest in talking to that woman ever again.
You know what I mean? Beyond that singular,
That moment in time.
it was really powerful, I think.
Why do you think, how often do you cry, though? Are you a big crier?
Yeah.
You cry at the drop of a hat.
It depends. It depends.
Has Bobby ever made you cry?
All the time.
But I mean made you cry like really, like really hurt. Like something really hurt.
Yeah, I think before he left for Hawaii, I probably got on my hands and knees. I was like, look at me. I'm a virile, sexy woman.
You started just
Why
bawling.
don't you want me?
And he was like, no, I must go.
Warzone awaits.
Warzone awaits. Stay there. You can start bawling at stuff like that. Like when you get really tied up in your brain, you'll just start crying.
Yeah, I think so. I always think like I have overactive lacrimal ducts. You know how some people can feel things and then the tears just never find their way there?
I don't know how to cry.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
I just like, I get emotional.
Are you a sociopath?
Yeah. I get emotional.
But what do you do then when something is disastrous, when you just feel so down? Because I've seen you down.
I've been broken. When I'm broken, I will cry. But like, I don't
How do you
know.
cry? Show me.
I don't know how to, it's a really embarrassing.
Wait, what about if it's for a movie, a scene?
I've never had to do it. I've had to get emotional for stuff, but how often do comedians have to cry on camera? Most of the time we're doing idiot stuff. We have to look like idiots. When I did I'm Dying Up Here, I had to get really emotional stuff with my dad, but it was easy to do that because it connects from some sort of a real place.
So nothing you watch makes you cry, not even The Octopus Teacher.
No, this is the great. No, what I'm saying is like I don't know how to cry for like if something's sad or upsetting in my life, but like I can cry from any kind of children's movie at like
Okay, good.
any
Thank God.
Pixar film. I'm bawling.
Thank God.
No, I'm just saying like I don't know how to cry when like someone in my family dies and it really hurts, but I'm just low and depressed.
Well,
But I don't know how to cry. Like my grandmother died, and I went to her funeral, and I didn't cry, and everyone was crying, and I was like, "Is something wrong with me?" I didn't know how to cry, but I felt atrocious. It didn't come that way.
sometimes there is this thing as like stealing someone's cry thunder.
Mm.
When there are too many people crying around me, I can't cry.
It's
My
hard-
God, it's
yeah.
not my turn.
It's like when guys can't pee if there's like 19 dudes peeing right next to them in a trough at a football game.
Right.
You get weird. You get a little piss gun
You're
shy.
like, yeah, it's not my turn. Enough
Yeah.
people are doing it.
Yeah.
Let me just wait for my moment. It's just like when I'm feeling particularly bad and I go to a friend and I share some really bad news and I cry and then she starts crying, I'm out. My tears dry up.
You're like, bitch, this was my cry.
This was my fucking cry.
You didn't get to cry, bitch.
And now I have to be the one, like, I always.
Consoling
Yeah,
her.
consoling. I'm like, okay, it's not. We can't cry together. That's corny, right?
Yeah, that is. It is funny to think like women are allowed to go to other women and just have a good cry. And guys, it's not that we're not allowed to. It's never a thing that men would ever think to do.
Oh, really? I'll look at guys in my life.
Really? I just a man would never call me about something emotional to have like a cry with me. They'd tell you if they're guys tell guys when they're hurt and pissed off. But when they're actually sad, men usually just keep it to themselves. It's an old like bury it thing as a guy. You're like, don't tell anybody. It's just a weird dad response that you had that you're like, don't burden anybody with your sadness type of shit.
That's an Asian response.
A Catholic too. That's what we do. Bury it, put it away.
Yeah, put it away.
That's what Asians and Catholics. Because Asians have.
Filipinos, Asian Catholics.
There you go. It's just like the most. Don't get upset. Like the phrase, "You're gonna do this right here in front of these people." That's like such a Catholic. Oh, you're gonna do this in front of all these people.
Yeah.
You're like, but I'm really upset. It's like
Yeah.
hide it until you get home. And even when you get home, go to your room. I don't want to see you do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like an unloving thing. It's just like a taught thing from that kind of people.
But my therapist said something really interesting. She was like, "You're not less fucked up than Bobby. You're just well trained." And I'm like, "Is that Catholicism?"
It is.
I'm trained.
It is.
And my responses are trained. So from outside looking in, I do look like a well-adjusted adult, but I am no better. Bobby and I are equally as like fucked up on the inside.
Sure. I mean, I think we're all so fucked up.
Yeah.
I just think like some of us learned those coping mechanisms. You know what I thought? I watched Fleabag last week. I
Did you
finished
like
it.
it? It's my favorite.
So good.
God, hot priest.
Hot priest.
Hot priest.
What a
I
hot
have
priest.
for my birthday. Jules got me a sticker she printed out of the hot priest. That's
Yeah.
on my mirror.
I don't want to give anything away from the show. I was about to just leak something. I'm sure people have seen it. It's such an old show. It took me forever to like play catch up and watch it, but it made me think of the confession scene, and I thought how weird that like that was a part of our lives as kids was like just telling your like secrets to a man in
Yeah,
a
but
booth.
wouldn't you lie at confessionals? Because I
Everyone
would.
does.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking tell them what the fuck I did.
But the people that do tell the truth, they were embedded into the community even deeper because they had more to lose. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because that guy now knows my deepest darkest.
But that guy tells all the people that he needs to tell.
Well, also that guy is your salvation, basically. He's your connection to the salvation. So you better not, stray.
Yeah.
Right?
It creeped me out so much. The idea of that like someone in their own regard thinks that they deserve to be the voice of a thing. To deliver messages to you is one thing. But then to say you have to confide in me for your own sanity and safety is like, what? Who
That's-
gave you the fucking medal?
Let me tell you, my family did me a great service by being horrible people when I was growing up. All my older male cousins who like sold were like the island's like drug dealers who like were horrible to their families, shitty husbands. Every Sunday they went to confessional. They took the body of Christ,
Ate the wafer, baby.
ate the wafer, and they were the worst people on earth. So I was like, oh, this is not real, is it?
Oh, yeah.
This is not real at all.
They don't set on fire when they walk into a church.
Yeah, I was like, that motherfucker is still an intact human being. He's not like a charred
Right.
human in ashes.
And they'll probably live longer than anybody.
Yeah, fucking cockroach.
Those are the people that live till they're like 104.
Of course.
Life is good. They don't exercise. They do whatever the fuck they want.
And so thank God for that. Or else I would have been, really like I would have hung on to Catholicism probably a lot longer and felt all this regret and guilt and shame.
And we get so much beef when especially when Bob and I talk about church and all that stuff, and it's like, I'm just talking about my experience. People are always like, you don't know shit about religion. It's like, I know shit about what I experienced.
Yeah.
I don't care what other people experience. I know how I felt about the whole thing, you know? Especially when you hear stories of your family and you're like, what? Great-granddad had 6 families? And you know what I mean? We just didn't know. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, he had 3 other wives in 2 other states. And you learn all this stuff thinking that you knew who these people were. And that's our experience with hiding away those secrets and stuff. And the church was a weird, protective, everyone's a good guy type of thing.
It's, I have one of my cousins, my girl cousins, she's the closest one to me. She was married to a pastor for 9 years. And he fucked everyone in the congregation. Everyone.
Everyone in the choir.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And he was just a fucking narcissist. He was so abusive towards her.
Ugh.
It was a fucking Mennonite church too, so it was like you had to wear your hair really long. You could only wear skirts up to here, and she was like a punk rock girl when growing up. Like she was the rebel in her family, but she
Yeah.
met this like hotshot pastor, and he was like, let me save you, and so
Let me save you.
Yeah, she would cover up her tattoos and everything,
Right.
and yeah, but he fucked everyone. But so she left him.
Mennonite is like, they're like Mormon, they're like diet Mormon, right?
Oh
It's
no,
like,
I'm sorry, not Mennonite. She's Pentecostal.
I don't know, what is that?
I think they're a little bit more hardcore.
Right? If it's
Yeah.
like if like church is cars, like Pentecostal is like it's more hardcore than Mormonism?
I think so.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, because Mormonism is, I mean,
I thought they were below. I thought Mormons were
Mormons are just
the Latter-day Saints,
horny.
right? Isn't that who they are? The,
Latter Day LDS.
LDSs.
Yeah.
They're hornballs.
I think so. They allow like polygamy and stuff.
Well, I think some of the church doesn't like it, right? Like some of the people disagree with it. That's also what an exhausting concept. We saw that show that like the guy with multiple wives.
With
it's
Bill
on like
Paxton?
TLC. No.
Oh
what's
no, the guy with the long hair. Yeah.
Oh, he grosses me out so much. But I'm also like, why would these chicks be into this? Why would they be into it? First of all, that guy's not that hot. It's not like you'd bail on everything to be like, I gotta have this guy. I don't care that he's married and has 2 other wives or 3 other wives. He's not that hot. And also, it just seems like a nightmare having to deal with other people's families. Because like, they are one family, but they're not.
I can kind of see myself being one of the wives though.
Really? You'd want to be
Just
one of
because
the wives?
It's like I don't want to be your one, and I mean, look, if Bobby cheated on me, I would die.
I don't want to be your one and
No,
only.
I just don't want to be the one place you come to. Like, I would like to disperse
Yeah.
the family. Like if you're having issues that way, you don't have to come to me.
Right.
You could come to wife number 2, wife number 3.
Yeah, but what they do is they have their own kids and they don't really put their kids in the other houses. So it is like separate little house. On the show, they were talking about moving back into one house and they all hated the idea because they like to have their little units. That's a nature thing.
What's a nature thing?
Women want to be this protector of their
Oh.
of their kin. So it's weird for them to want to give them away to other women to take care of.
Yeah.
So it is like this is my little pod, and we can be in a commune together. But I want my pod because it's a comfort thing. It's like these are mine specifically, where the guys can just visit the pod every day. I just think it sounds exhausting going from house to house, managing
Yes.
people's emotions and stories.
I was
and-
in a polyamorous relationship. You know
Were
that,
you?
Right? Yeah, right before I met Bobby. My last relationship, I was living with 2 guys.
You were living with 2 dudes.
Yeah.
Did they hook up?
No, they didn't hook up, but we hooked up together.
But okay, so wait a minute though. It's you and these 2 guys all in the same house.
Yeah, for years. Traveled together.
You're
didn't know
you're a gypsy, man. You're a gypsy. No, you had told me. I mean, I had
wanna
known that
collect
you
my
had. I didn't
tears?
know you. I didn't know it was like a. I thought that was like a. I didn't know that was like a live-in relationship.
It
thing.
was a live-in relationship. We loved each other a lot.
How many people came and went?
Came inside me.
No. Yes, I'd like to know the number. How many people would come and go? How many like men and women would come and go in the house?
No, it was just a relationship with 2 guys.
Oh, but you guys weren't open for other people coming
No, it was monogam. I was monogamous to 2 people.
in. So you're not. You're binogamous.
It was a throuple.
Yeah. Binogamy.
Monogamy, yeah.
But wait a minute. See what I thought poly was like you're open for other people coming into the relationship.
Oh
at
yeah, that's
will.
right. You're right. So no, that's an open relationship.
What's poly then?
I think there are different like subsets of it, but I would describe mine as poly, meaning not one, but
These dudes didn't get jealous when
did.
one of them is sleeping with you, the other one wasn't jealous.
how deep are we going again in this podcast?
We're going to the bottom of the earth.
Because this is something that I've tried to leave in the dust. And because when I first met Bobby, he couldn't shut up about it. Like he went on every single
He'll
podcast,
never
and
watch
she was like,
this.
"This new chick I'm with, she needs 2 dicks to come." And so my Instagram was private at this time.
Yeah.
But when I finally made it public, the only hashtag on it was like 2 dicks to come. Like what's happening?
Well, we don't need to dive back into it. I just think
no,
it's
we can.
I think it's fascinating.
I'm not ashamed of it. These
Yeah.
were they were great guys.
but
They would get jealous.
Yeah, that's what I mean, of
Because
course,
the
right?
second person came in 2 years into the other one. So I was with someone for 5 years.
and the other one just popped in.
2 years later.
How did that happen?
So he was a classmate of mine in college,
And
and
you
I
were
was like,
like-
I'm in a relationship. I don't know what to tell you. He did. It's kind of I hate talking about it because he's such a good friend of mine now, and he has like a family and kids. But he basically didn't say anything to me. He went straight to my boyfriend. He was like, "Dude, I'm in love with your girl. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm gonna shoot my shot." And my boyfriend at that time, he's like, "You're out of your fucking mind."
Yeah.
Right? And then, but he allowed a friendship. And then one Sunday afternoon, I was having sex with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that like my friend was like around, and I was like, midway, I was like, "Oh, like, what do you think of this?" And he said yes.
You were like, what if he joins?
I was like, "I'd really like that." And he was like, "All right."
Wow. Either
And
really secure with himself or remarkably crazy.
he was obnoxiously attractive.
So he knew it was like
Obnoxiously attractive. He was
Right.
like, I already know, probably had the bigger dick. I probably, but still there was jealousy like later on, yeah.
of course. Like
Yeah,
you-
because one finishes and now he just has to watch.
just sitting there.
He's like, God.
Just eating a banana like you. That's where you get it
Yeah,
from. Just eating a
banana
banana,
break.
watching you guys. Wait, I have to know this. Is there
I'm
ever a
gonna get
moment?
so much shit for this.
Is
'Cause
you- Okay, we don't have to do it.
he's a wonderful,
We're not going to mention
loving,
his name.
very, very amazing math teacher.
Okay, well, let's not give any more details so people can try to hunt him down and find him. You're like, he's great, Santa Clarita, but I'm not going to say any more about where he is on Markman's Road. I got to know, do you have to sneak away at some point to hook up with one if you don't want to hook up with both?
There was no sneaking around after it was established that, this is what it was.
But you have to tell, is there like a board? Is like a
I don't have
sign
to
up
tell
sheet?
him, hey, no, there's no sign up sheet.
Yeah.
But
We're
after a
boning at
while-
4, so, it's on the sheet, on the fridge. You saw it. You didn't have to,
There
there
is
was,
no sign-up
it was no discussion over like that. It was just when it happens, it happens. But if it started happening with one of them and the other one comes home, what if you don't want the other one to join and you're like, we just want to.
Then I would make sure that there was no like crossover that the other person like wouldn't know. Because then
So
it's just,
see,
like-
it is sneaking a little
but
bit.
if you were to ask me, did that happen? I'd be like, yeah, it did. Just not with you in that house. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's just being rude. There are rules.
But see what I mean? But they're vague, right? They're made up by the parties. Then you have to find them as you go.
Yeah, but
That's why there
imagine-
should have been a board. That's what I'm saying. There should have been a board with rules. This is
You're
the
right.
laid out rules.
You're right, because feelings at the end of it all, like it got a little muddled at the end because I feel. Now listen to this. I had to break up with both of them at the same time.
Well, right, you can't do just one. The other one's going to be heartbroken.
Yeah, I went on a. Oh God, I was a really confused person, I think. But I'll never do it again. It's the most exhausting thing in my life.
How did you break up with both at once?
So we had been together for a couple of years. We traveled many different places. It was great. It was fun. And then I just got tired and I lost feelings for the both of them.
Sure.
And that was it. I came home from a trip and I was like, hey, so I'm not like into this anymore. And yeah, it was a weird 6 months.
Did they
after
hate
that.
you? What if they were like, well, we're just going to stick around with each other for a while?
One of them's still my best friend.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's noble. I couldn't do that. That's too hard for me.
But this was 10 years ago now. So like when we look at each other, we cringe. We're like, ugh, let's never bring it up. Like, oh, I think he finds me disgusting. I find him. It's weird. There's nothing there.
How long did it take you to become friends after you split?
Oh, him and I were always going to stay friends.
Really?
Always.
Even when you were like, I don't wanna do this?
kindred from the day we met.
Huh.
We were like, I love you. I love you. We probably should have never had sex. It should have never been a relationship, but
Yeah.
we are never not going to be in each other's lives. I love him so much.
That's really sweet. Obviously you're very mature with relationships.
Not then I wasn't.
That has to
I
be,
was just
because-
having fun.
Yeah, but think about it. It must be mature to be able to handle it like that, because most people in their 20s that break up with people, it's fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you ever again. So that's rare to like even want to have a friendship relationship with somebody after the fact. It's so hard when you're young, because when you're young, your emotions are whirlwind and you're thinking, am I going to be this person for the rest of my life? That's in your 20s. You have this like constant stream of like, is this like a marriage relationship or is this just a fling? And is it worth it? And when you get in your 30s, I feel like life changes remarkably over the way you feel about relationships. But back then, it's easy to be like, fuck you. Most people, I feel like in their 20s are just like, oh, fuck my ex. I don't talk to them at all.
Yeah.
People in their 30s break up with people. They're like, we're hanging out tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like not, it's just shit, because your life is so, as my dad always said that, he was like, your 20s are a financial and relationship nightmare. He's like, your 30s, you start to figure out how to make money right,
Yeah.
and how to balance your life in a relationship better.
Yeah.
And he's like, in your 40s, it all falls apart. But anyway, no, he was just like, he's like, it's just when you're that young, nothing adds up. So you're so overly emotional about everything.
Yeah.
Especially when you're, I was going to say, especially when you're so young and broke and like you're fighting, money fights when you're young too. That's like the scariest thing, because it becomes a factor sometimes when you're in your young 20s dating, when you're living with somebody and you're broke, and it just creates undue emotional stress.
Well, then you can't break a lease either.
Oh, it's okay. So I can't say who, a friend who I work with just separated from their partner.
During COVID?
Yes. Now, literally
Oh,
like a
now.
month ago.
Yeah.
And this person told me and was like, I'm just so like mad and annoyed. Like we just took a fucking lease together.
Ugh, annoying.
It was like, why couldn't you just break up? Because this person's partner broke up with them.
Oh, he got dumped.
Yeah, and he was like, why wouldn't you just fucking say it before we signed a fucking lease 3 months ago?
Oh,
Like, you could have cut this off. So he's dealing with this, like, it's just a money problem. That's a huge money issue. Like, that's a nightmare to
How
be.
long had they been together before signing
A couple
that lease?
years.
Couple years.
So they couldn't, the other person definitely knew they weren't wanting to be together anymore. Because it
Yeah.
wasn't like a slow burn. It was like out of nowhere one day, it was like, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore.
That's why I always tell Bobby, I'm like, you need to give me like a 6-month window. Do not blindside me.
Right, give
if
some
your
build-up.
feelings are like just slowly, if your tank is running low, just,
Turn on the engine light. Give me the fucking check
Give
engine
me a
light.
signal. Say anything. You cannot just one day
Yeah.
say it's over, because
No.
I might murder you.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not, yeah. And,
How would you murder him if you were going to murder him?
oh, so strategically.
Right.
So strategically.
Right.
Like, I would eat him.
You boil and eat his body. You would. You'd cut him
Find
up.
his fingerprints now, motherfuckers. I'll eat him fingers first.
Just nibbling on his hands and you playing Call of Duty while you're eating him.
Yeah.
Justification and payback for all that. I get that. You're right. Leave notes. Leave hints. Leave me little hints that you're not
Yeah.
happy. Don't hit me
Please.
with it out of nowhere.
No, I'm not. I don't have the coping. I don't have the coping skills for that kind of
Right.
attack. That's an attack.
That is an attack.
I can't deal with it.
And there's no defense that you can do for that.
And Bobby and I have never been like. He's never been dumped in his life. We've been rejected a
He's
lot.
never been dumped?
No, we've been rejected a lot. You know, we've been saying, we don't want to date you and stuff. But he's never been dumped. He's always been a dumper. And I've always been the dumper. So imagine
2 dumpers.
2 dumpers.
That's tough.
That's a recipe for murder.
It is.
It's not gonna go well.
Yeah, you can't have 2 dumpers. But that's what you said. You've both lived such crazy lives when you were young. It's like when they say 2 type A personalities together.
Can that work? Is that sustainable?
10 years max. No.
Good run.
It's over soon. Of course, it's sustainable, but I don't like the rules that like. That's why I don't believe when somebody's like, "What's her sign? What's your sign?" So it's like, I don't think these things are gonna make the long. No, in no way do I believe in any sort of outside influence being the reason you stay together or to break up in terms of like your specific personality trait or your astrological sign. Or I think it's just you either learn to work with someone or you bail. That's it.
Yeah.
You just learn to work with them because you're never going to like all the shit they do. You're always going to be annoyed by certain things. And Neil Brennan said this best. He was like, we were talking about how like people don't grow. Men specifically. Like men say that they grow. They don't.
No.
We're 14.
I think the
13
same
to
with
16.
women, by the way. I think we're all like 12-year-old little boys.
But women probably grow longer than men do. Like we stop at like 15. Women may stop at like 20
Yeah.
if they want to, right? They decide. Men don't decide. Men are 13 and that's it forever. It's poop, penis, fart, booger, snot,
Yeah.
vomit forever in our brains. It's like the funniest shit will always be. I'll never forget. My dad took me to a Chicago Bears game when I was in high school, maybe, or end of high school, and we were in the stall together. I mean, we were in the bathrooms together at a urinal trough, and there was a guy that walked into one of the stalls, and we're sitting there, and it was just us three, and we're just pissing, and then this guy ripped ass in the stall, just like, I mean, it was like it was heavy, and my dad started going, like it just like a small little laugh, and I was like, see, it never is not funny. Like, yes, we're 15. We'll always laugh at a fart inside of a bathroom. Is it funny? Is it really that funny? No, but yes, it is. Because the 13-year-old goes, it's air from his butt. That's hilarious. It just is funny.
I feel like it's universe. It's never. Yeah, you're right.
Do girls laugh if another girl farts in the
Fuck,
bathroom?
yeah.
You do?
Oh my God, especially if it bubbles forward into their vagina. Because sometimes this is what happens. Like sometimes it doesn't always move backwards. Sometimes it moves forward and it's
Yeah.
like whoop.
How do you
know?
protect it from moving forward? You can't, huh? You
No,
don't know
it
when
just does. You get a little bit
Depends on them
frontal
cheeks.
vibration. The front cheeks kind of clap. They
That's
vibrate.
so funny.
It really feels kind of nice though when a fart comes through the front.
Does it?
Like, "Whoa."
Wait a minute. When you're in the stall and another girl's in a stall next to you and he's just letting it fly,
I cannot. I
it's
laugh.
funny. Do you think all girls are like that?
I
Or you
asked,
just have a-
hey, are you okay?
You ever ask her if you hear it and you're just like, was that the front? Did that hit the front? The front lips? I mean, honestly though, no, girls are just as disgusting as dudes. It just won't be publicly admitted. There is this whole like fart in front of Bobby or poop in front of Bobby. Some people, in relationships, like just won't do it, and some people don't give a shit. You'll fart in front of Bobby.
I don't.
Never.
I mean, he's heard me because he's
Snuck
picked the
it.
lock in the
But
bathroom.
you make sure he doesn't hear it.
No, it's just not my style because
Yeah.
I want to be like a sexy little flower.
My old lady's like that too. Never wants to do it. Like is so
But around my
afraid.
sister and my friends and everyone else,
Totally okay.
who cares? They don't. Yeah,
So
I don't
funny.
respect them.
These bitches. Not gonna not fart in front of these hoes. I think that's funny that girls are as gross as dudes. We're allowed to be. It's like totally okay for us
It's
to
not
be repulsive.
okay. I'm not okay with Bobby's level of fucking hygiene. It disgusts me. I
But you
tell him all
love
the
him
time,
for it. You said that.
Look, we're trying to get through. I tell him like, look, you gotta cut your fucking fingernails.
Oh, that's a big thing for me. The fingernails.
Fingernails is big for me too.
because no.
The teeth have to be brushed and clean.
Yeah, sure. Hygiene is
And
normal.
the asshole has to smell soapy when I beach to completion.
Just put baby wipes all over the house.
I don't like the smell of baby wipes plus asshole. I need it to be washed.
But so how often does he need to wash then? 3 times a day?
He needs to wash. No, not every day. Just always. It has to be a clean asshole if you're gonna, if that's gonna be in the vicinity or my face adjacent.
Yeah, if it's gonna be near, it's got to be
Because
clean.
it always wafts. Like I just need to. I need that. I just need to know that someone cares about me and my well-being.
Yeah, no, I understand. But he does take care of himself for the most part.
He's so lucky because he doesn't have body odor.
Yeah.
At all?
Well, he doesn't have a lot of hair.
He doesn't, but he's just
Hair
like,
is odor for dudes,
But I think Koreans really just have very little body odor.
right? Because they have smaller sweat glands.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's
You don't
true.
have apocrine glands?
I swear to God, they have smaller sweat glands than us and less sweat glands than us. We looked it up one time because I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it's
But
real.
He really doesn't have like even if he didn't shower for 5 days.
Like if he's
I scratch and sniff his armpit all the time. Like I know there's something underneath there.
and nothing.
One time I like plucked out a blackhead from there and that smelled, but
You like that too. Do you like popping pimples, don't you?
obsessed.
Why that? Why do women like that so much?
I get-
Men don't really like it, but women are obsessed with popping shit.
It's such a release.
What is it though? Is it like you know you're fixing something, or you know you're like solving something? I don't. What is
It's
it?
just the idea that something that's not supposed to be there is now out, but
Right.
there was a fight to get it out of there. There was
yeah.
that fight, and then you just feel like you feel really victorious.
Yeah, like I don't like she'll like if I'll have one on my shoulder or
Yeah.
something, it's like what a moment she gets to have with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, come on, gross. Just hurry up. This is gross. This is disgusting.
No, I beg Bobby, and he runs away from me.
Also, because it hurts sometimes too. When it's on your
Oh,
back,
grow
it hurts.
up.
See,
Grow
yeah.
up.
See, I'd rather just do it fast. You guys want to like make it a whole scene. That's why that woman, Dr. Pimple Popper, is famous. There's a whole television show about popping stuff. And I watched it once. I was like, this is disgusting. She was like, this is wildly interesting.
It's the best. Also, if you ever go on YouTube, ingrown videos.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Pulling
It's
out
like-
ingrown hairs
It's but they put it under like a magnifying thing.
so you
tool.
can see.
It's so good. The root at the end of the hair.
Oh, it's
the
so
infected
gross.
follicle. I salivate.
You
I'm, like,
do? You
frothing
love
at the
that
mouth,
shit.
Just frothing.
Give
So
me the
good.
ingrowns.
Give it to me.
What's your guiltiest pleasure of stuff online of watching? Is it shit like that? Do you like ASMR shit or no?
I hate ASMR. I think it's
Yeah.
so overplayed.
I can't stand it. I don't know how people like it.
Like what type of ASMR though? I don't like this.
I don't like that. I don't like the oddly satisfying stuff. Doesn't bother me.
I like the oddly satisfying stuff.
That's okay. But a lot of it is kind of like watching a guy scoop something off the top, and you're like, okay, what is it? It's like or like stomping out sand to make it all even.
I like that. Earwax extractions.
That you like?
So good.
Really?
Sometimes like I don't know why it's always an Indian doctor.
It is.
That does this really well, but yeah, it's just when they're really like tightly packed in there, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and
Constant.
bigger.
Yeah, see, that grosses me out. Like I had to years ago, I had to go to a doctor because I had a terrible I had an ear, nose, and throat guy because I had an unbelievably bad infection, sinus infection, you know. And he was like, "Oh, we should pump out one of your ears. You're clogged a little bit." I was like, "Okay." And he used it was just a water pick. It was like a tooth water pick. It was like a water pick that you use for your teeth.
Yeah.
But it was warm, and it was like, and it was cleaning out my ear. And he would like show me what it was. Yeah. Oh, I was so freaked out. I was so grossed out. But he had said he was like, it's going to hurt a little bit. But the pressure tickled. It didn't hurt. He was like, you're the
Right.
first person I've ever had that laughed. I was chuckling because it like tickled. He's
Yeah.
like, most people, it's super painful. He's like, do you stick Q-tips in your ear? I'm like, no, not that deep.
Tell him you don't cry either.
I don't.
Ear,
I know.
eye, nose, and throat doctor.
He wheeled in a dead person. Was like, this is your family member. I did not cry. But you would have loved the goop. That it's like that. Getting stuff out of your body, like colonics, all that stuff, it grosses me out.
I don't like phlegm. I'm not a phlegm girl.
People hawk.
Yeah, like sometimes when I was doing like my clinical rotations, when you had a vented patient and then you had to kind of take a suction,
Ugh.
it's not my favorite. Phlegm is not my thing.
When they do that, they cut right here, right?
If that's a trach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here.
They slice it clean
Not
open.
always. Vented patients, you can also go through the mouth.
Ugh. Like that. Part of the Rona thing that scared me the most was like
Yeah.
being on one of those things, having that tube shoved down my throat.
And then face down, prone.
Oh, I mean, that's the scare. Like
so grim looking.
it is. I mean, it's just you're dead at that point. I'm just like, oh, you're dead. They've shoved things down your throat, and you're dead. You're upside down. But I'm glad we're almost through it, and you're functioning now. You're like going out, and you're becoming human again.
I'm kind of afraid of myself now.
Look, you take all the proper precautions.
No. I'm afraid of myself in like a weird way because this week I started doing things and I started dressing up again, putting jeans on for the first time.
I know when
I was
this
like,
is.
holy shit, I'm so fucking hot. I'm so fucking
I'm
hot.
so
And
hot.
I called Bobby today. I was like, I'm so fucking hot. You need to be careful. You need to love me better.
Yeah, when you walked to the studio, you did get hollered at the street a few times.
I
So
did?
Yeah, you did.
I'm so unaware.
Yeah, you did. You gotta whoa. Hey. That's the troublemakers in this neighborhood. Yeah, no, I haven't put on this. The only time I put on clothes is literally for this.
Yeah.
When we do Bad Friends, you can't see under the desk, and I'm never wearing jeans. I'm always wearing like sweats or.
Well, for the past like year, I have not put on anything but sweatpants. But
Yeah.
even on the show,
Yeah.
there are a lot of episodes, at least like 6 or 7, no makeup, hair unbrushed.
But you know what? I'm glad it's going back the other way because I did feel better about wearing real clothes. I will say, wearing shitty clothes has not helped my move. It's made me like lazier.
Right.
It's not good for you. It's not.
Yeah, and like everything just goes down with a ship. Like
Yeah.
the trimming, the plucking.
I'm so hairy right now.
Oh, you don't
It's
even want to
disgusting.
know.
It's
Brush
disgusting.
fire, California. This is where it all starts.
Yeah, I'm glad things are getting back to normal, and we're gonna clean it up, and it is gonna be good. Eventually, it's gonna be good, and I'm glad that you're on the other side of it a little bit. You guys were protective for all the right reasons. You didn't get it. We got it.
jinx it.
No, knock on this wood. There's wood right here. Knock on
Don't
wood.
jinx it.
It's not a jinx. You're very safe and protective, and you do everything you can do. Honestly, 4 million people got it. So it's like, I'm sure a lot of those people got it on accident, but I think a lot of those people too got it from fucking around, from
Yeah.
being a fuck up. And it's a 50-50. Some people, you couldn't help it. I got it from a friend of a friend, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You know, I'm gonna kill him.
Did you want to kill him at that time?
I did for a minute. I got really mad. I got very, very upset.
Bobby did not want to drop off medication and goodies for you guys.
I know, that was the sweetest thing you did, by the way. You dropped me off medication and goodies and all sorts of stuff.
I yelled at him like, "Why aren't you being a friend? Why aren't you offering to get him
He
vitamin
was
D?" and
he
all
was
that
really
stuff?
scared, which I totally understood.
I was like, "We're just dropping it off at his doorstep. It's fine."
But remember at the height of this whole thing, like UPS drivers, I was like, I get why they didn't want to come to the front door.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I'm not going near this guy's fucking house.
Yeah.
Like our UPS driver is the same guy we've had, for a couple years now. Like it's the same dude who's so nice. And when Pandy hit, he would drop it off at the end of the driveway. And he actually one time saw me outside and was like, "Is it cool if I hide it by your car?" Oh, he kicks it.
He
Yeah.
just punts it.
He goes, "Hey, dude, package." He goes, "Is it cool if I drop it outside by the car and hide it?" I was like, "Oh yeah, no doubt." He's like, "I just don't want to stay near common areas." I was like, "Yeah, I got it." Meanwhile, the mailman, our mailman is this Filipino dude who's like 75. He smokes cigarettes, no mask, walks right up the door. He'll talk to you. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" He doesn't give a shit.
What's up, sir?
It doesn't. It's not real. What's up, sir? It's not real to him.
And I love
There's
my
some older people
so
that just
much.
don't think it's real at all to them, and it's interesting. Like the mailman doesn't give a shit.
My stepdad had a different problem. I don't know what it is, but he's starting to have like a 10-second memory bank.
Eee.
So
You think
every
he's
10
got,
every 10 seconds. No, he doesn't have Alzheimer's.
Oh,
He's
okay.
just smokes a lot of weed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How old is
so-
he?
He's in his 70s.
I like that generation is into weed again. I mean, I don't know if he was before.
He was before.
Okay, so-
But not when he was a teacher. For a long time he wasn't. But then now that he's retired, he's like, guess what? And he's my birthday, Christmas, here's the only thing I want. So I keep having to go to Sweet Flower.
Just get him weed.
Always just get him.
Is it edibles? Are you getting him, or what are you getting him?
I get him everything.
Yeah.
He just loads it up.
Finally, my parents have admitted that it's wonderful. It's
Oh, good.
It's taken all these to finally be like, well, I have a family member who's really sick, and I got my family member gummies and drops, and has helped them exponentially. And I was like, "See, Mom, do you see? This is not the devil's lettuce. It's not this thing from when I was in high school that you're like, this isn't bad. You're gonna get on heroin and sucking people's assholes in a week, and you're like." It's not real. Like that fucking reefer madness was so fucked up to do to people. So imagine that's what we were saying before. Are they doing that with us now with other stuff? Because that was all government propaganda to convince the public that marijuana, a fucking Spanish word, right? Mexicans, bad, negative. You know what I mean? Like they put it on us. Seriously. They said marijuana because they were like, oh, it's all coming up from Mexico.
Yeah.
And that's who's got it. Bad people down there. And they're bad and it's negative. And they make you a murderer and a rapist and psychopath. It's just crazy they were able to perpetuate that narrative so big that the whole country believed it. Like wholeheartedly. And then over by you, those fucking people, they kill you if you had some of it, right?
Yeah.
You go to fucking prison for life in some places.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For
but-
weed.
But on our island or where I grew up, it was shabu. It was meth. Meth is really a problem in the islands.
Well, yeah. I mean, they talk about that in Hawaii too, right? It's huge in Hawaii.
Ice, yeah.
Ice, right? Yeah, that. Yeah,
Ice.
ice. What was? Yeah. What was the dude on TV? The
Doug.
dog. The dog.
Doug,
Yeah, busting the
yeah.
ice.
I love that show.
Me too. He said one racist thing. No, I'm
What did he
kidding.
say?
I don't know if it was him or his wife. It was probably an N-bomb, I think.
R.I.P. Beth.
R.I.P.
Love her.
Beth. Whoop whoop.
Love her.
It's always an N-bomb.
Was it?
It's always an N-bomb. When they're like, what did they say? And you're like, probably an N-bomb. Wasn't that what Hulk Hogan, right? Or no?
I think it Hulk Hogan. It wasn't Doug. Dog.
No, Dog did drop N-bomb.
Oh, he did?
No, he did for sure. Or Beth. Or they both did.
Mm.
And Hulk Hogan. Everyone, big guys love N-bombs. It's standard.
But this is the year.
Standard.
2020 was supposed to be the year I finally do mushrooms.
Wait, let's do them.
And yeah, but I wouldn't do it with you.
Why?
I would be terrified. I
Why?
need to, first off, I need to be chained to a tree because I have a weird head.
Do you want to go?
I
out- like, you wanna
lucid
go-
dream. I have a really, the reason that I've never done anything but maybe smoke weed and drink is because I am high on my own fucking supply. I have weird pathways in my head. I already have weird thoughts. I don't
Right.
need hallucinogenics. I hallucinate on my own.
You need to try mushrooms. Go to Joshua Tree. You guys love the tree.
Yeah, I will. I just need someone that I feel like I fully trust. Like,
What
like
about
a friend.
well, you don't want Bobby around you when you're doing them?
I feel like he's gonna fuck with me,
He will, of course.
but I just can't have that. I want to have a positive experience.
I would say get a good girlfriend to do it with you who is experienced, who's done it a few times, who can kind of help.
Yeah,
Because I think it's nice to have somebody with psychedelics who's aware.
yeah, yeah.
Because when two people are doing it, like when me and my buddy Tyler were doing it all the time in high school, we were like learning it together. I was like, this is a bad idea. Like, because you're learning it together.
Yeah.
You don't know shit. We took it one time at his house and his mom came home early and then we started tripping like the moment she came home. And I was like, I'm so fucked up. And he's like, me too. It's like, well, this was a terrible fucking. How are we going to get out of this situation? Neither of us know how to like navigate this. We ran out the front door. I was like, we got to go. She's like, where? Like, we got to go. I sat in my car for like 30 minutes. I was like, the moon is so big. This is such a nightmare. We went to a haunted house on mushrooms, me and this dude. I would say go to, so stupid. Like, why? Let's like, just so we could give ourselves panic attacks?
Now, would it be a bad idea for me to just do it in my backyard?
No, that'd be a good idea. But also, like, I mean, I would say start in your backyard before you go somewhere else, but take a smaller dose, right?
Wait, what does it feel like to swim on mushrooms?
I mean, maybe one of the greatest things on earth.
Okay, because that's what I'm interested in. Because
Yeah.
I already dive as is, right? So
Yeah.
I'm a water person.
Oh,
So
get in your pool. It's
but
swimming.
I'm not gonna have some like weird thing where I like I drown myself, right?
Mushrooms aren't that like that. That's not. They're not
gonna
that
do that
controlling.
then.
But do you have a hot tub?
Oh no, we don't.
The only thing I would say is don't get in a hot tub.
Why? What?
Because one time
why?
I got in a hot tub on mushrooms and I was sat in there for far too long. Because you kind of
Oh,
have no
yeah.
relegation of time,
Yeah.
right? Like
You're just gonna sit there, dehydrate, and die.
it's so dumb. I felt like shit when I got out. Well, because also like your body shouldn't be at such high temperatures for that long. Even when I'm like not high and in a hot tub,
Well, you're fully vasodilating, so your
Yeah.
bloodstream's like operating at like full capacity.
it's really bad for you.
So you're probably tripping even harder.
Yeah, you do trip super hard. And I sat in there for like 35 or 40 minutes. You shouldn't be in there for more than 15, 20 minutes, maybe.
Oh my god! The last time I hate hot tubs even when I'm sober. But the last time I went to, I think I was maybe 19 years old, and I went to a party at Caltech. Like you didn't think these boys partied?
I don't think that. I didn't know. I
But
didn't know they partied.
did. And I vomited, puked all over the hot tub.
In the hot tub?
In the hot tub.
Come
Couldn't even turn my
on.
neck.
That's a courtesy. They're like, could you please? You're like, no. Just right in the hot tub. The edge is right there. Oh, I'm sorry. Just right off.
And I remember this guy drove a Miata, and I couldn't get over it.
The Mazda Miata.
The Miata, yeah.
Was he? And he was trying to hook up.
Yeah.
Nice try, dude.
I know, so I just puked all over his hot tub. It was great. You deserve this.
That's what you get, Miata boy. Wherever you are out there. He's such a big fan of yours. And he's just like, I can't believe she treats me this way. All right. I love you. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Look, you're doing God's work over there at the Lee Kuhn Foundation home that you've got. So thank you for everything that you're doing. And we end the episode the same way. I want you to look in the camera and you say one word or one phrase. It's going to be the end of the episode. I'm going to walk off and you're going to say one word or one phrase whenever you're ready.
About what?
Anything.
Why is this the hardest thing?
It is.
Oh, phrase two?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what
One word or
fucking
one phrase?
word?
One word or one
One word or one phrase. Undignified.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.